To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm often reminded of these words when I think about the Rohingya issue in Malaysia. Not because I want to forgive the Rohingya for landing in Malaysia illegally, but instead because we were dumb to accept them, and no, the Rohingya problem is not just a Malay problem. Suppose we know for a fact that it was UMNO past Najib Hadi Awang who welcomed the Rohingya into Malaysia. Siap buat solidarity rally for all these people. Sing Selamat Malam Rohingya to their own regret. When Abang Joe rejected the Rohingya in 2017, then a lot of our Malay friends, including this Rino Akmal, says there will be a turnaround clock one day. Imagine rakyat anda terpaksa jadi macam Rohingya. As those of us from the future look back at this and say that as Chinese people, maybe you didn't want to talk about any of this because some people would scream, "Don't kacau our agama, balik tongsan." Don't be surprised why Chinese and Indians don't care about this topic. This is a Malay problem, terpaling Islam problem. You made your bed, now sleep in it. I totally get why some people want to say that y'all started this problem, right? Y'all want to have your solidarity, right? Y'all go settle lah. And that's very tempting to say, but I'm going to advocate against that. A Chinese Malaysian is the same as a Malay Malaysian, is the same as an Indian Malaysian, even though you have a couple of racist delulu Xiao Lang whose sanity is constantly in question. And I know if we are a family, we are a rather problematic family where people are just constantly screaming about queer harams and fighting against one another. But when it counts, when we have foreign threats trying to break us apart, then you can actually see Malaysians defending one another, standing up for every single legit citizen here, regardless of race and religion. You can say it's not an ideal kind of unity and it's only people uniting because they don't like the interlopers. It is still the fault of the penunggang agamas, the politicians and everything else like that. Why do I need to get involved? But honestly, I think at the end of the day, whether that's right or not, I think it's better for us to be more forgiving of our countrymen. Newsflash everybody, but we all live in the same country. Which means that whether you like it or not, the Rohingya issue affects every single one of us. Whether you like it or not, we are living in the same spaces. We interact with people of all different races and different religions. We experience life living as Malaysians, singing Negaraku, Jalur Gemilang, all of that stuff as part of the beautiful imperfect picture that is Malaysia. And in case you're tempted to frame this as just a Malay on Malay, Islam on Islam type issue, just know that there are people like this woke child who wants to terpaling protect the Rohingya and also apparently is Malaysian Chinese. And also that whether you like it or not, there are DAP leaders who have made statements like this. Instead of being firm and saying, hey, we need to protect our national borders and stop these people from coming in. These are not just Malay people, however much you want to just make this into a communal issue. And whether it's DAP, BN, PN, or anything else, you are going to see that everybody has some small skin in the game. From wanting the Rohingya to come in, claiming human rights, while completely ignoring the questions that just naturally come out whenever we think about whether the Rohingya are going to function in our society, and what it means that we are taking the least educated ones of them and trying to so-called integrate them, and effectively becoming a dumping ground for people who are basically having children for the purpose of expanding the Rohingya community or to increase Muslim soldiers. So I think it's time for a reset. At the end of the day, mistakes were made by the Malaysian people. Maybe y'all felt a sense of pity. I think it's kind of understandable. Only to regret it later on when you realize that the people that you tried to help or who are part of your ummah didn't really give you very good reasons to have any sympathy for them. It's the kind of thing that happens when you have so-called solidarity that your preachers teach to you. And you believe all the way, but you never actually see any of the real people that you're supposed to have so-called solidarity with. Something that a lot of people only recently learned when the Palestinians came over to KL, only to be Malaysia no. And I think finally a lot of us came to our senses as people asked, are these people really Palestinians or are they Rohingya? As they realized that their solidarity was fake. You know, I acknowledge my privilege. I wasn't gaslighted by this whole so-called race and religion, solidarity untuk semua umat type thing. But I also know a lot of Malay people who were just completely silent on this entire issue because they don't want to kena kecam by their own brothers and sisters who would just say that you are cruel, you are horrible, how dare you not protect these kinds of people. And that sort of fear actually just stopped people from actually doing the correct thing, which is to stop the Rohingya from actually coming into Malaysia, not let Malaysia become a dumping ground for them, and not let agents earn money just cause these people want a better future, and they've already been blocked by Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Australia, and pretty much any modern country in the world that realizes that maybe there's an actual reason why these people aren't welcome anywhere in the world. Either way though, it's really not a Malaysian problem, and I think that we are all spending too much time, too much effort, too much energy on these people whom a lot of us would just not care too much about and would be happy to extend humanitarian graces for if at least they knew that, yo, you can't be going out there and breaking the laws. Can you just have that bit of self-awareness? Wouldn't that be fair to say?
It's unfair to say.
Anyway, to err is human, to forgive is divine. I really think that this whole Rohingya issue is an issue that all Malaysians of every race and every religion need to unite over. And hey, if this actually helps us to build our relationships with the community, just because we have a common enemy, maybe that's gonna help us actually realize that, hey, there is that part of shared identity that we do have. So let's keep valuing that experience as we learn about what makes us us as legit citizens of Malaysia. Malaysia for Malaysians, everybody. That's all I have to say about that, and bye.